Welcome to another episode of Athlete Things. And today we are super, super excited to have Austin Perkins on the show. The 75 kilo. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, man? Thanks so much for coming on. First off, congratulations on that fucking epic performance you threw up, what, 4 weeks, 5 weeks ago now?
Yeah,
USAPL Nats.
yeah. It's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah,
Um,
it's been 4 weeks. It should have been like, yeah, 4 or 5 weeks now because I'm on week 4 of my block. So yeah, yeah, around 5 weeks. It's been good, man. It was a good meet. I still feel like we got time to grow. I'm just looking forward to pushing it more. Want to get back into it. I don't know when the next time I'll be able to hit something that big again, but I'm looking forward to it.
yeah. Did it did it play out exactly how you thought it would play out? I guess, we know it was a bit of a long time coming for you in terms of what you've been through with a hernia and all that. But I guess in terms of the competition as a whole, the 851, is that what you had been envisioning for so long and how it will
I
play out?
actually know. I I actually thought that it was gonna be I was gonna grasp like barely get that 838. I thought I was gonna go like 840, 841. Like that was like we were gonna go for that. Like we're in our head, Joe was like, we're just gonna go for 841. We're gonna beat the record. We've been talking about beating the record. Like we don't even have to blow it out of the water. Let's just do it. Um, and then people were telling me that, oh, I could go like 850, 860. But then I was like, like we might just go we might just go right over the record. But then I was talking to Steve Denovi, PR's Performance, and he was like, dude, like if you just hit this, this, and this, that would be 850. And I was like, that actually doesn't seem that hard, honestly. I was like, that seems like a pretty something like we could do that day. And then I just let Joe call the numbers, and then it happened. Like I wasn't expecting 850. I was like I said, I was thinking like 841 maybe, but I'm glad we went 850. Kind of wish we would have went more, but that's all good now.
How far out was that when you spoke to Steve then in terms of kind of realizing that, oh shit, I might be able to throw up more? How far
I
out
think
was that?
like at least a week and a half, maybe
Oh
2 weeks.
damn. Yeah. So pretty
Yeah,
soon.
like yeah, I was done with training, and we had hit all the biggest numbers that we were going to hit anyway. So like it seems like I could do it because I mean I hit the bench before already. The deadlift was just over, I think, 10 kilos of what I hit before. I think it was 335 or something like that, and then the squat was like I think 307 and a half. And I was like, oh, like we're fine. That should be something that I
Chilling.
could hit. It just depends on how travel went, how cutting went. Because I mean, I cut a little bit. I manipulated food. It wasn't like a water load or like a gut cut. I literally just manipulated food. It just depends on how I felt on the day. So I knew it was possible. I just had to capitalize on the day, I guess.
Yeah. And historically as well, like after a big, I guess, training prep, like when you do get that taper, like have you seen that big spike in performance as well on meet day?
Um, Usually yes for squat. Like my squat always tapers well. But we hadn't seen since me and Joe had been together, we hadn't had a good meet on. We had a decent meet, like the first meet after my hernia surgery with bench. And then we tried to peak the exact same way after that, but then deadlift the whole time. So I think Joe's been coaching me for 3 years. My deadlift hadn't peaked at all that good. So we tried something new with my peak when it came to deadlift. Um, and then that ended up working. So that was the only one we were like, we kind of don't know how it's gonna go. Like we might pull 327 and a half, or we might pull something crazy, which I feel like it was crazy what we pulled. So it worked out. Um, and I think that we kind of have everything figured out now to this point. We should. So like every other meet should be fine. We should know where we should hit going into it weight wise.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Like the first time you're trying out something new, it's like, bro, you don't know whether you're going to end up like matching it or it's just going to be crazy on the day and like you're on, right? And like I think when we were looking at your recaps, it's like you were just hyped as fuck when you were hitting your
Hmm.
lifts. Because like that's when you know like this man's on.
Yeah, I was super tired post binge because at that point, like I said before, I go to sleep at like 10:30 at night, and it was 10:30 as we were finishing
Yeah,
bench.
shit. True.
And I was like, oh, dude, like I was telling my fiance, I was like, I'm exhausted. Like I'm so tired. I can go to sleep right
Sleep
now.
time,
She was like,
babe.
just take some more pre. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I was like, she was like, just take some pre. You only have to deadlift 3 times, and like that's it. That's all you gotta do. So I'll go back. I take the pre, and then I'm talking to one of my friends who shoots for White Lights Media UK, Joseph, and I was like, dude, I'm tired, and he's like, dude, just get the deadlift, and by the time you get the 4 reds, you'll be fine. The pre will kick in. You'll be good. And then I pulled 3 reds twice, like I always do. I start with 3 reds. I pull that twice. Then I pulled the 495 or the 225, and I was just like, oh yeah. I was like, this is it. And then we went from 225 to 265. No, 270 to 270. And then that moved really good. And then I was like, oh yeah, I'm on. I was like, I got this. I was like, whatever we need to put on, we can put on. Like after going out there and pulling 302.5, I was like, yeah, dude. If 302.5 moved like my last warm up back there, I was like, we can put whatever on the bar. Like I was fine. I was like, because in the back, we were after bench, we were trying to figure out numbers because I told Joe, I was like, I want to take Taylor's record on the second. So just in case I missed the third, we already have it. Like that was the most logical thing to do in my head. And Joe was like, I mean, that's a big jump from 302.5 to whatever we took on the second. I think it was 327, something
Three.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Three.
Um,
It's 320 something. Thanks
yeah,
for pulling it
maybe
up.
325, something, yeah, something around there. It was in the 320s. And he was like, that's a big jump. And I was like, yeah, but I just don't trust myself on that third. Like, we don't know what could happen. Because I was like, what if I was like, I'd rather miss my second deadlift and retake it than take a second and then get it and then third move like crap. And then like I don't get it. Like I hit shit or I drop it from rushing it. Like I just didn't want anything to go bad on that third. So I was like, we have to take it. And that was like in between bench and deadlift. And we were like, me, my friend Rob and Joe were literally like not arguing, but we were butting heads about what to do. And I was like, I got this. I was like, just trust me. I was like, it'll be fine. It'll be on me. If we mess up on it, I'll take the blame for it. But I was like, I'd rather just try to shoot for the record on the second. And
Mm.
that's when I ended up doing it. It ended up playing out. So hey, don't call me a liar, but I did it.
Yeah. It puts you into a position just to ball out on that third, right? Like if you back yourself on that second, you lock it on the second, and then you're really having fun for that third attempt, right? I've just got to
Yep,
just flip back really
I had
quick.
my headphones, and the headphones were working good. That was it. I was at the music was on that day as well. So
Yeah. Just flip back really quick. Did you say you start at 3 reds for warm-ups?
yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah,
man.
for whenever I hit a
Yeah.
single, yeah. It's because all right, so I think of it like this. So when it goes to one red literally doesn't feel like anything, and like it honestly messes me up. Like I don't get into the right positioning, or like whenever I try to wedge, it'll just come off the ground automatically. And then 2 reds, I can feel it, but then I still feel like it's a wasted warm up and wasted energy. Like it would help a little bit, and when I wedge, it would still probably come off the ground a little bit, but I just feel like it would be a waste. So I just take 3 reds twice. It's like the first 3 reds, I'm like, that felt like crap. It's like that was actually
Yeah.
kind of heavy. And then I go back the second time and I'm like, all right, fix this, fix that. And then I'm like, all right, now we're good. And then after that, I just hit a single on everything else. So
All right. After this pod, I'm officially not fucking around with 1 red anymore, at least.
yeah, no, you have to start with 2 reds, dude. If you're pulling like 4 reds, 4 to 5 reds, you have to start with 2 reds, dude. Just take it twice. Like you
Yeah.
might as well instead of taking that 1 red once.
Well, my best is 360. My best is 360, so just short of 800. And I'm doing 1 red, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, hey Sam, like I think there's something here for you.
Yeah.
you gotta do it, man. You try it, and I promise you, like if you don't like it, you can let me know. Literally DM and tell me if it's not better, bro. You save so much energy.
All right, sweet. I'm gonna do it this weekend. Danny's competing this weekend, and I'm sure you'll be taking less warm-ups for deadlifts.
Oh yeah, like now I'm going like 1 red, 2 red, 3 red, 4 red. I've never done that until
Or
like this. Never done that till this block. Yeah, you were saying?
or you could try the I know some people that go one red, three reds. That's another thing you could try. I mean, you could that's another one that I used to do. I used to go one red, then three reds, and then people were like, "Dude, just start with two reds." And I was like, "All right." And I started with two reds, and then I was like, "Well, I can save so much energy if I just do three reds and take it twice." So I was like, I've tried everything.
Yeah, when you go to I think the most tiring thing is like changing the plates, right? So it's like, oh fuck it, you might as well you might as well just start on three rounds.
Yeah, I go in and it's like on my primary day, I go in the deadlift and I just throw the three reds on and then I chill and then I warm up. So I have time, so all I have to do is just go three reds, then three reds again, and I haven't changed any weight between those between the two sets. And then I just put the one red on and then I go from four reds to five reds. So and then after that I take smaller jumps. So usually my jumps go three reds, four reds, five reds, and then five reds and a green.
Yeah.
290.
295, 290, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then after that, I take which jump I need to take. I either take five reds yellow, and then 317 and a half. Usually, if I go that, or like I skip the rest right over 317 and a half, and I'll go like 305. Like the biggest jump I think I've ever taken is 305 to 327 and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like in
So
training.
it was pretty similar to what you end up doing on the platform from your first to second then. It's just like you've
Yeah.
how many times have you done that though?
That jump only once. So I've done
Yeah.
it once in training whenever I pulled 327 and a half, like the block before Nats. And then I did it at Nats.
Yeah,
Like I
right.
usually don't like I don't take big jumps like that in training. I usually try to keep it minimal and then me and Joe usually don't take huge pulls on meet day. I mean on in training. So it kind of works itself out.
Mhm. I was
You
gonna say,
said,
like, I think eventually, at some point, right? Like, say you get into a battle, when you do make those like those big jumps on deadlifts, definitely like help you out, right? Because then it's like you could just keep matching that till you get to your top end. Otherwise, like if you just jump small, and you get from second to third, and you got to jump big again, it's like that can throw you off as well.
Yeah. I just I I really haven't been in a big battle in a while when it came to it. And I usually can just take the jumps I want. So I guess that helps me work on and me time that it helps me with taking big jumps when it comes to like maybe going in a battle with something. Cause it's like my when I won University Worlds, I took a big jump from that to I think it was like 20 kilos or something around there, something like that. And then like Nat, since I'm usually not really close to anyone anyway, or it meets previous that I've done, it's like I might as well take a big jump, and then I usually either make it or I don't make it. But lately, it's been make after make after make. So I'm really like the past three meets. Well, yeah, excluding the Virginia Pro, yeah, I take pretty decent big jumps.
yeah, it's I guess I want to dive into a bit of your training just from here because you said before in terms of like not even feeling one red plate, right? It seems that like all your training and a lot of the guys at our gym here just talking about it, you just move so fast. So like, have you always moved like so fast in your training in terms of just like that explosive power? And is that how you approach every single set, or is it something that you've just kind of developed over time as you've gotten so strong?
I honestly just picked that up. Probably when was it? When was it? I want to say beginning of this year. So post Virginia Pro. So around like February, March, um, was when I started like actually switching stuff over because I guess like maybe I was 100% now after the hernia surgery. It had been like it had been almost a year at that point.
Yeah.
Because I was lifting probably like 4 to 5 months after I had the surgery. And then like I thought I was good going into Virginia Pro. I thought I was fine in 2022, December 2022. Um, but then like I wasn't really squatting deep. I wasn't trusting myself on the descent of my squat. I was just then trying to figure out deadlift. I hadn't moved the belt up. Like everyone makes fun of me for having my belt so high now. I haven't. I hadn't figured that part out as well. I switched that probably like March of 2023, like moving the belt up, and then um, I just got more confident in my squat form later on. I mean, well, earlier in this year. And then yeah, I mean bench I feel like moves the exact same speed it's always
Yeah.
been, but yeah, those two I just got more confident in the squat, and then deadlift. I don't know. Like I just figured out how to wedge. That was the biggest thing because you could like pre Virginia Pro, so pre 2020 December, I was like pulling. I was just literally deadlifting with the lower back. Like that's all I was doing all the time. But now I actually know how to wedge. So me figuring that out and getting to a good enough position. I moved my grip into I pull fully on the smooth.
Yeah.
So I moved the grip in, and that helped. And then I figured out keeping my hips higher but wedging minimally helped so much. So like I just figured out my leverages a lot more, and then got more confident in the squat, and that's what changed.
Hmm. Without giving too much like secrets away, I guess, we can look at your competition results, the pre-hernia with like that sub 800 to now,
Mm-hmm.
we're fucking mid 800s, way blown past it. So obviously you've got these elements of you're more confident after the hernia surgery. You figured out these technique changes. Has anything like programming changed much for you then in terms of like block lengths? I know you've been working on the deadlift for the USAPL Nats, but was there any like really big training specifics that changed to like help you get way past that 800?
I'll say there were minimal changes to programming. I say this a lot, and I feel like people are like, "Oh my God, he's always bringing this up." But my fiance helped me a lot. I was just getting out of college. I did powerlifting in college. The college life's kind of
Yeah.
wild. I partied a lot. Um, I moved after I graduated from college. I moved down to Austin, Texas, and then I started taking things a lot more seriously. Well, actually, I had a party phase, and then me and her started dating, like right after the Virginia Pro, and then from that point on, she just got me on track, and I changed a lot of like out of gym things. I started sleeping earlier instead of not sleeping at all. I started putting healthy things in my body and actually eating throughout the day. I wasn't drinking as much. I only do that like every once in a while now, or like I'll have a beer at night whenever I'm just craving a beer, maybe. Um, but yeah, man, I changed lifestyle stuff around. I credit most of it to that, and even Joe's like, yeah, like you just literally cleaning up your life helped a lot. When it came to the training part, I think me and Joe worked on doing like a tertiary, secondary, primary day. Um, well, no, secondary, tertiary, primary day. I don't know if I just said that, but yeah, that's how it
Yeah.
usually is. But then we changed that around to where it's tertiary, secondary, primary day. So like I like build up into my squat. So because I couldn't take something heavy, take a break in the middle, and it'd be like not so heavy, and then go heavy again. Like I just needed time for my body. So now I go pause squats. It's been like this for like the past 6, 7 blocks now, but I go pause squats, ascending sets, and then primary day.
Yeah.
And then from block to block, that changes from like fours, doubles. I mean fours, triples, doubles. Like for squat. Like I don't hit singles. And that was something that we did try whenever I first started with him. That was pre Virginia Pro. I would hit singles, like the block of comp, my last block leading into comp. And that would just gas me so much.
Yeah.
Um, when it came to bench, the one changes we made was we added two more singles to the program just to get me exposed to more weight. So I have a touch and go single, and then I have a 3 count pause single. But that 3 count pause single is the same weight throughout all of prep, and it's like RP7. It's always at 160. That was the only change we made to that, and then deadlift we literally didn't make any changes. But when it came to my peak, we just changed that where didn't um we didn't take anything super heavy. Previous blocks we took like I think like 95%. He said something around there, 90 to 95%. But now we just hit my opener and just keep it at that. And
Mhm.
that's all the exposure I needed leading into meet. Like that was just heavy enough for me. Instead of going like I think going into the meet I total 825, we hit um 322 and a half, I'm pretty sure. And then we only hit 325 in the meet. So we just decided to drop that. And then the taper went amazing. I just got a lot out of it.
So you very
Yeah.
much use like doubles and like this more sub-maximal work moving fast into competition, like build fatigue through the pure volume, taper like a fucking beast, and then you're coming in fresh because like you haven't already kind of pushed the limit too hard in training, so you're just leaving it all for that one platform day.
Yeah, so yeah, that's right. I never really spoke on that. So when it came to we kind of push bench. Bench is the only one that we actually do push and I actually do feel something. But when it comes to squat, yeah, we don't touch anything like super heavy whatsoever until that last week. So we'll go like let's say like 225 week one, 235, 245. And then 265 to 275. But then after that, we take a big jump to like 300 to 305. Like we always use that last week just to take that biggest jump. Because I just, like I said, I think it's like with me, it's just a building confidence thing. It's like, oh, like week one for me always feels like crap. Like Joe and my fiance, I always say that week one and week two, worst weeks of the block. I feel like I couldn't go up. I feel like the weight's heavy. Form does never feel good. And then we get to week three, and I'm like, boom, it's on. And then everything starts to feel good. Then week four, I'm like, okay, like either I'm like, that moved pretty good, but I felt it a little bit. And then because I usually don't like feeling fatigued after that top set. It shouldn't fatigue me at all. Like I don't want to feel like it made an impact on me. And then week five is like the last week for squat. And then I'm just like, all right, we just got to do it. And then we go in there, hit it, and then I don't hit back downs after that because I'm gassed. Because it's like it might move easy. Like people were like, that 300 for three moved so easy. And I'm like, oh, it moved easy, but it didn't feel easy.
True. So like week five's like your go week. So then is week five platform for you in a peak?
Week five is platform.
Yeah. Oh, sick. Momentum runs in with momentum.
That's what it is. Like you have to have that confidence, because if you don't have that confidence, then it's just not gonna be there.
Yeah. Like I've flipped between the two, right? Like similar to what you're doing now. It's like chill out, and then it'll come to you versus previously it's like, bro, I just want to get stronger. So I gotta train harder. And you'd be like pushing at 8, at 9, pretty much starting from week one, and you'd end up going nowhere. But I think like it takes time for you to trust that like the submax work actually works, right? And you could think like you could put it out on paper and be like, oh yeah, like of course I'm gonna be healthier, blah blah blah. But like the fact that you kind of give yourself like 2 or 3 weeks not touching that kind of weight, I get how it's like, oh fuck, this is gonna mess with your confidence. I don't know if I can hit this in week 4, week 5. But I imagine like as you get stronger, right? Like the exposure that you hit from like 220 or 240 kilos is still going to be positive, right?
Yeah. And then I'm always working like, I feel like my primary days are never that taxing. It's always a secondary. My secondary squad day I hate. Like ascending sixes and ascending fives. Like I literally want to just I want to just die. Like it's so bad. Like I go in there, and for the past 3 weeks too, like this block, there's always been something wrong. Like it's either humid or there's a lot of people in there, and there's like not a rack or something, and it's like, well, I've already warmed up, or and like I'm ready to go now, or there's always something that's been going on this block. But ascending sixes is like, it's like I keep thinking to myself, there's no way I have to go up after this, especially whenever like they start at like this block. For some reason Joe was like, all right, we're starting at 225 for ascending sixes, so like our the last set is at 225, and I'm like, I get to week two and I'm like, dude, these feel heavier than usual. And he was like, yeah, it's because we're starting heavier than we ever have. And I'm like, why? I literally looked at him and I was like, dude, why? Um, but yeah, they're just, it's like you hit 225, and it's like, all right, now it's like he gives me ranges. So it's either like 230 or 235. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm just gonna go 235. And it's like, all right, well, 240 or 245. And I'm like, I guess I'm gonna shoot for the moon and just go 245. But it's like, dang, like I just hit 235 for six. And then it's like I gotta go up again. And then I'm just like, that's my thought process through it all. I'm just like, God, that was a lot of reps. Like 6 reps with 235 is it moved easy, like it looks like, but I'm just tired, dude. Like the weight's honestly not that heavy. I'm just after the
Is
third
your
rep, I'm like, bro, like I'm gassed and it's humid in there, so I can't breathe. And then the other day, what happened was I chose to wear a tank top, and it was just not sticking to my
Sweating.
back. Yeah, so that's what happened the other day, and I was just like, well, I know I'm wearing a t-shirt on my sending set 6 days next week, and then I'm gonna hope it's not humid. So we just go like earlier in the day sometimes just to get out of that humidity.
This is your
Right.
chance to tell the listeners that although it looks fucking fast and easy, man's struggling.
Oh yeah, I'm struggling. As soon as I turn that camera off, bro, I'm on the ground dead. Like I'm laying down. I'm just biggest breaths ever. Like I between because I bench after I squat on that day, I'll probably take 15, 20 minutes of just like walking around and chilling. Like I'll take my time putting the bench back in the rack. I'll sit down on the bench, then I'll move the bench down, the bar down. Then I'll get on my phone. I'll download videos to send to Joe. Like I'll do anything in between just to take some rest. Bro, I'm gassed.
Damn. I wanted to I wanted to jump back to what you were mentioning before, like how you pretty much went from like 800 to 850, and it wasn't even so the programming aspect, right? It was pretty much like you being young and kind of like building better habits, right? And I think it's
Mm-hmm.
really helpful for a lot of people that are going through that kind of phase where it's like, they're coming out of uni for us or college for you guys, and it's like, you know, you haven't really built these kind of aspects that get your life together. And I think it's really important when you do start getting stronger, it's like all those little things need to start getting managed, right?
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
got like a little thing from USAPL Nats from you. You're like, I push beyond the best that I can be. First block is easy, no hiccups, no major injuries. I just want to make sure everything's tapped in, my I's are dotted, and my T's are crossed, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, how
Yeah. You
long did
gotta
that
you gotta
process? How long did it take for you to kind of get to a point where everything was dialed?
mm, mm.
Here
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so
we go.
me me and my fiance started being official around that time. I want to say like I want to say like 5 months. I'm not sure. It took a while, like to get everything like dialed in. Like I would say probably like to a T, like have everything I's dotted, T's crossed 100% good a month out from that. Like that's when everything, like I literally
Fuck.
stopped everything. Like I
Bro.
wasn't drinking at all. Um, None of that other stuff. Like I really was literally doing nothing, dude. Like I
Fuck,
was I
man.
was coming home. I was training, coming home, eating the same things every day. Like wake up in the morning, I'm eating this. Lunch, I'm eating ground beef, this amount of ground beef and rice. At night, steak and mashed potatoes or steak and rice. Like literally every day. Like no drinks, sleeping at 10:30. Um, my personal training that I did in the morning, I have to wake up at 6, barely did that. Any I probably did like once or twice. But everything else, like I trickled down with. Like I stopped the drinking like throughout the week a long time ago. And then I started doing like maybe like 2 drinks throughout the week. And then I went down to doing like maybe 1 drink on the weekend. Then I went from doing that to like no drinks at all. Like it just started like I basically peaked myself for it, to be honest. Like out of gym stuff. That's how it went. Like I would do small things and get better, stop the nicotine and stuff like that altogether. Like I threw that out probably like 3 months prior to that. So 3 months prior to that, like I just started chopping away. I think people think that when you want to make better habits, you have to do everything at once. And that can just be a lot mentally and stressful wise. Like just taper off of certain things. Like you don't have to stop everything at once. I know some people want to be like, you know what, I'm gonna wake up today on this Sunday and make sure I have all my meals done, and I'm gonna stop doing nicotine, and then I'm gonna not drink at all. Like that's a lot of things to just stop at one time. Like just like stop one thing at a time. Like take your time, wean off of this, wean off of that. Get put yourself on a schedule. Like okay, well I'll only vape or something like twice a week, or like do it from like I won't do it till after I train, and I train in the afternoon. Like do something like that, and then after a while you'll be golden, and then just cut out everything that month before and have everything ready. Like exactly like started not drinking anything exactly a month out, like to the date. So I think like I competed on like the 16th, 15th, 16th, like
Yeah.
uh August 15th, 16th, I stopped completely. And then I started like eating the same thing every day and getting rest like I was supposed to and all that stuff.
Yeah. I'm just curious, is it, I think, still dialed in now, or like does it come in waves for you?
I say everything is pretty dialed in now. I say the one thing that's not is I don't eat like
I don't
I
eat at
don't
all.
count macros whatsoever. I don't know. I do eat now. I just don't count macros whatsoever. And um my friend Tim Thibodeau, he was like we've been friends for the longest. And I was like, yeah, dude, I don't count macros. And Joe was there that day and he looked at Joe and was like, wait, Perk doesn't count macros? And Joe's like, I'm just happy that he eats in general now. Like that's it. Cause he would only eat like twice a day. Like that's it. And he went from that to actually eating. So I really don't care what he puts in his body as long as he puts food in his body. So that's what I'm on right now. I eat 3 times a day. Um, I'm not the best with the macros. I probably don't eat the best things 3 times a day. Breakfast, I'd say I have pretty good. Like I'll either make pancakes and pancakes, eggs, and bacon, like usually in the morning, or like bacon, egg, and cheese, something like that. But when it comes to lunch and dinner, I just honestly eat. Actually, dinner's pretty good too. I would say like we either eat beef and rice or salmon and rice. But lunch, I'm just like, Sometimes I'm not gonna lie. Some days I might skip lunch. I hope Joe doesn't listen to that. But some days I might skip lunch. But other than that, that's good. I do have like 1 or 2 drinks throughout the week sometimes if I just want it. But those are the only 2 things that I'll say that are bad. I still sleep. I go to sleep at the same time though. That's never gonna change. If I go to sleep at 11, something's wrong. Or
Man.
okay, or what me and my fiance have been doing the past like weekend sometime is playing Pokemon, because we started playing Pokemon together and started at the same like the very beginning. So we'll stay up all night and play that. But other than that though, we're going to sleep.
Damn.
Was it instant? So when you hit that 1 month out mark and then you finally had everything dialed, was it like, holy shit, I feel good? Or was it kind
Oh
of
yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was. I was going to the gym and I was like, bro, I could do that. I'm like Steve Rogers, freaking Captain America. I was like, I could do this all day. I was like, I can do this all day. Like, of course, the sending sixes days, I was tired and gassed. But other than that, though, I was on a wave, dude. I was moving because it was like to start of the block too. Um, like everything was going good. Bench was going good. Deadlift was going amazing. Like I was hitting like perfect forms on everything. And then squat, I was just so confident because Joe had already told me like the week before the meet, you're hitting 305 for a double, and I was like, all right, let's just get to. I was like, let's just get to the week before the meet. Then I was like, I'm just ready for that. So every day I'm like, all right, one day off, one day off. When it's like I'm marking on the calendar, not literally, but in my head, I'm just like another day done, another day done, like perfect day, perfect day, perfect day. Was good. Like it felt good to feel good. And like right now, I would say I feel like crap because I took 2 weeks off after Nats, and then I have to like literally. That's what Joe's point was. He was like, I want you to take 2 weeks off, so when you come back, it's like a fresh slate. Like we're starting completely over, and it feels like it. But um, I just need to eat better because right now I'm not terribly overweight, but I'm up there right now that I'm heavier than I usually am, and I'm just like but I'm not competing till next March, so it's like my everyone's like, dude, just bulk right now, you're fine, and then just cut down. So it's not like I'm like what maybe I'm trying to do pounds to kilos. I don't know. I think I'm like 3 kilos over, maybe. I'm
Yeah.
74. So
Still,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not that bad, but in my head, I've never been that heavy. So I'm like, oh my gosh, bro, like I'm so big right now. Like, what if I can't make the cut? And everyone's like, dude, you never have to cut. Once you get to meet time, you'll be fine by then. So you just gotta make sure I don't go over that 3 or 5 kilos marks because that's a lot.
Really, really quick. You just said then you feel like Steve Rogers. Now I want to just ask: are you Batman or are you Bane? Because we've been, me and Danny have
Oh
been
my God.
noticing a few little comments, a few little posts. Let's dive into this. That
I guess I'm Bane. I guess I'm
yeah yeah
Bane. I
yeah
mean,
yeah
like,
yeah.
I love. It's funny that he posted The Dark Knight Rises because my fiance knows I love The Dark Knight. Like, I love like me and my friends in college would literally just do the Bane voice. Like that was our thing. Like, you think darkness is your ally? And I'm like, no.
he's
And then
peak
like we just
spirit.
go around
He's
the
peak
house.
spirit.
We go around the house and we just put our hands on each other's shoulders and it's like, do you feel in charge? Like it would just be like that all the time. So whenever he posted that, I was like, oh, you messed up. Like you messed up with that. But yeah, I guess in this situation I can be Bane. But I just want to say the only reason he was like, we know how he said Taylor said, you know how Bane how it ends in the end and who wins. I was like, bro, that's because he got punched in the mask, bro. That's such a bad way to go out because he was winning that fight. So he's just like, oh, I can't breathe. Like that was the only thing. So don't act like he just Batman didn't get his back broken in that movie, bro. Like let's not act like he had plot armor, bro. Like it's Batman. Come on.
So you're the villain. Yeah, we had to when you commented that we're the initiated, aren't we? I had to Google it. I was like, what does this mean? I was like, what is this reference? And then I found the scene and how they're
Hmm.
they're in the where are they? In like
The
the
sewer. They're in the
They're
sewer.
in, they're in
sewer.
the cat. Yeah,
Yeah.
in the dark.
And then he's like, yeah, but we are the initiated, aren't we? And I was like, oh, this is hype, man. This is fucking hype.
I know, right? I was like, but we are the initiated, aren't we, Bruce?
Yeah.
It's a great movie. I've watched it, so I think it's not my favorite movie by at all, but I feel like I've watched that movie so many times. Like I can just probably go word for word on that movie just because we've watched it so many times.
Mm. Well,
But yeah, I guess
this
you can
is
call myself the villain, I guess, right now leading into this next meet.
I was gonna say, man, that was gonna be my next question. So now a nice segue. You've just thrown up that huge performance and now transitioning to the IPF.
Mhm.
So how's that all process going to look like you for now? What's coming up?
So actually, yeah, this is good because I haven't talked about this publicly. So I am going to do a meet in Texas. It's in San Antonio, and it's December 10th. I'm pretty sure, and like all the people that are switching over to Powerlifting America are doing that other meet in Houston, like the one that Jessica Butner is doing, and I think they
Yeah.
just announced that Ryan Lapidat is commentating at.
Oh,
Everyone's
yeah.
doing that meet.
Huge, yeah, stacked.
Yeah, and
Petrie,
I was like,
Ashton,
yeah, Petrie, yep, Bob,
Joe Jordan.
Nat Richards
yeah,
commentating.
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, Joe was like, "Do you want to do that meet?" And I was like, "Not gonna lie, I don't feel like trying this year. I'm done. Like, because if I go to that meet, I'm gonna want to try to win it. Like, I'm not gonna go to this meet and it's like, oh, I'm just gonna place third and be fine. Like, no, I'm gonna want to go in there and try to at least hit. Because I mean, no one's hit a 600 dots besides Rondell. So I mean, I would just try to do like it's hard for lighter people to try to win a meet and just be like, well, I'm just gonna do enough because
Yeah.
I go first. Like when it comes to deadlift, it's not like I can be like, oh well, I'm gonna wait and see what he puts on, and then I'll just do whatever more to get the dots, the IPF points. Like I literally have to go first, so it's like
Yeah,
It's
you got to
like
push as
I would
hard as you
have,
can.
yeah, I would have to push it as hard as I can so they won't hit what I hit. And like, do I feel like I could do it? Yes. Could I win that meet for sure? Yeah, probably. But I would have to give some, and I just feel like it's gonna mess up things when it comes to peaking. Like this small meet it would be great to win some money, but it's not as big as the end goal of winning Powerlifting American Nats. You know, so we were just like, all right, let's just not do that, and we'll just train through this meet. So the meet that I'm doing December 10th, I'm literally going in and hitting the bar. Like that's it. Like I might put a white on, but I'm not gonna squat anything. Like someone was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like they sent me a screenshot of the roster, and I was like, "I can't believe like I'm competing with you." And I was like, "Dude, I'm gonna lose that meet. Like I'm not getting any awards. I'm just going in there hitting a total and then leaving. Like that's really it." So I'm doing that December 10th. We're gonna just train through it. Like I said, we'll just hit that, and then we're just gonna chill until PA Nationals in March, I'm pretty sure. And then that's it. So we're gonna hit a block now and then repeat the block after we're done in 2 weeks. And then at that point we'll start peaking. We'll not peaking, but we'll start building up to naps going into that. And like that meet means a lot. So
Mm.
um I'm not trying to jeopardize that in any way, or like go to this meeting, like go to that meet that everyone's going to, and actually try. And something might happen. Like I might
Yeah.
push it too hard or mess up something. Like you never know. So we rather just play it safe than sorry.
Yeah, for
Mm.
sure. Like some of your caliber, man, like you've just put up 851. You've got to look at like your competition planning from a more macro scale and look at what's more important for sure.
Hmm.
I guess then, like in terms of how you're seeing next year with PA Nats in March, is it that's the number one primary goal before you're thinking of anything else after that in terms of going up against Taylor, winning PA Nats, and then qualifying for Worlds? Or what's your kind of mind space at in terms of, yeah, I guess, are you going to
So
try and go as hard as you can for March? I guess would be the easiest way to explain it.
all right. So that's really a good question. So with I'm gonna start with I feel like a lot of people are just like, oh, like Turk is gonna go over and he's just gonna like beat Taylor. And I think they're saying that from like an outside perspective because me, I don't think it's going to be easy whatsoever. Like I don't think I'm gonna go in this meet and be like, oh, well, I'm just gonna go in here and hit a smoke show and he won't be able to touch anything and it'll be fine. Like I don't think that whatsoever. So the goal is now is to literally train my ass off and then go in there and be able to total like that 860. That's the goal. Like I'm not gonna go in and just like hit training and go minimally and it's like okay, like we just want to be able to hit 800 or something, like because maybe he can't hit 800 again. Like we don't know because he's only hit I think like 770. Like that's his highest total has been in the left that past few years. Um,
Yeah. So
or like eight
Worlds
or that 790. Yeah, 790 in
790. Yeah.
worlds too.
Yeah. So
So
Worlds 2 years ago was a 790, and then like this year with the battle, it was
778 or something like that.
yeah, like point half a kilo, 777.5, and then the winners
yeah,
were 778 or something. Yeah.
yeah. So it's
Paralleling
like
team.
yeah, I want to be prepared. That's the goal. So we're gonna go into that meet ready to put on a fight, not expecting anything like if anything's gonna be given. Um, Best case scenario, we win, we get the world spot. Worst case scenario, we hit the Carpino score and get the alternate invite. That's worst case scenario. But still go to worlds. And then once we get there, I guess build into winning worlds. Just trying to hit as minimally as possible over the world record or the world record minimally. Like if it comes to the day and no one's close, we just hit 790. And then we'll see. And then from now on, go to Sheffield and
Cash in.
basically put up what we need to win as well, just because we don't want to like put up anything too high because just in case we want to go again the next year and the next year, like we just want to keep chipping away. So um like if we have to go like when we have to go against Jesus, not if, because the GOAT. Like it's just gonna be trying to get over him because it just depends on who goes to that Sheffield next time, you know, and how it's gonna go. Because like I said, I'm not gonna go into that meet also thinking that it's just gonna be easy and I'm gonna win it, even though people were like, "Oh my God, like he would just win off of an 850 total." But like if you have people like Bob Matthews and Ashton that switch over, like they're gonna be breaking that world record too by like 5% as well, like Jesus did. So like I just have to. That's why I'm taking it one meet at a time, honestly, because you never know what could happen. They could go to this Sheffield and someone and Carl and Tim could push the record up to 800, and then that
Yeah,
takes like a whole percentage off of whenever I try to go next time. Like, and then by that time, maybe someone else is stronger. Like, you just never know. So I'm just trying to play it one beat at a time at this point. Is nationals now, and then hopefully worlds, and then hopefully Sheffield, and then world games after that. Because that's going to be raw as well.
yeah,
I would be down to go to that. So that's the goal. I mean, going to this meet, like I said, I'm not writing Taylor off and think it's gonna be a smoke show. Um, but I'm gonna go in there trying to make it a smoke show. So
Yeah, it's interesting. You still got the mentality of like you need to like push it as well, even though the performance that you put up has been considered like one of the GOAT performances, right? So it's like finding a way where you can still have that edge to push every single meet.
no,
Um,
yeah, I think that I had that feeling before whenever I told 800 for the first time. Like in my head, I was like, oh, like I really don't have to push it that much. Like I'm close. Um, I just need to be able to, because I mean, I leading into that Nationals post me totaling 800, I didn't honestly like I wasn't 100% thinking like I was gonna beat Taylor, because if you go back and listen to everything, then I never said that I was going to beat him, not once. Like people always be like, "Oh my God, like he could win," and I'm like, I mean, yeah, I guess I could win, but I never said I was gonna beat him. Um, and I think it just like me totaling 800, I was just like, oh well, the only person that's over me is literally Taylor. Like that, and I got comfortable a little bit after that. But now, like I guess I've learned my lesson. I've gotten older as well. I think it's been like 2 years since then. I'm a lot older mentally, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna like use this and be like, oh, 851. Like no one's gonna beat that. Like that's fine. Like I just want to, like I said on my YouTube video, I just want to keep pushing. Like I just want to keep going. Um, push this record as far as I can. Like I said, why not 900? Like 900 is, I mean, it's gonna be hard. I'm not acting like it's gonna be easy, but I mean, it's a goal to shoot for, and I'm gonna shoot for it. No one thought that 850 was gonna be possible, so it's like, why not just keep going and pushing the imagination of people?
yeah, man. It's like inspiring as fuck because like we're all chasing the same thing, right? Which is like more for what we can possibly do. And like even though you're at the top, it's like you can't get complacent.
Um, can't do that.
Mm.
There's someone
I want
always out there that's coming for you, so you gotta always think about that.
I want to I know we spoke just before about like the importance of the external factors and how much that has changed, your athletic performances, but I want to dive into a bit more of the mindset stuff in terms of particularly the period when you're going through the hernia surgery and you first totaled 800 and then you go through this period where you have like 2 years or so where all of a sudden you're totaling less. So I guess in that time, how did you manage that period where I guess obviously you had the injury, but you know, your expectations of what you can do aren't quite being reflected on the platform. So like what are some things that you kind of ground yourself by mentally to keep you going, knowing that that super meet, that 825 and then that 851 is eventually going to be there?
Um, So I don't want to I don't want to act like that I'm that guy that's just like, oh well, I just kept going and kept trying. There was a lot of times um where I wanted to just give up. Um I so whenever I had the hernia surgery, um I was in Fremont, Nebraska, and I know you guys don't know anything about Fremont, Nebraska, but it is the smallest, like most terrible place. Like there's nothing there. It's gloomy all the time. So like you don't get any no serotonin from the sun. It's like probably like almost year round. It's just gloomy all the time. And I mean, I came from the southern part of America, so it's like I'm usually used to like a little bit of sun every once in a while or something like that. At least like majority sun, few days that's gloomy. But I was just down bad, super depressed. Um, was in my head. I was like, I don't think that I'll ever come back from this. Like, you never hear about anyone having like a double inguinal hernia surgery and
Mm.
like being amazing. Like, you don't hear that. Like, that's not something that's like, oh, well, yeah, this guy had this surgery and then he came back and he's like the best ever. Like, you know, it's people that have been healthy, that stay healthy, that have just been doing good and they just keep going. So in my head, I'm just like, I don't think I'll ever come back from this. And then I just keep going. Like I'm just like, all right, I just need to get to the point where I can get into the gym again. I get into the gym again. I'm like, all right, I keep going, doing good. And then my doctor is just like, all right, you can do this amount, this amount, this amount, this amount. And then after a while, he was like, you can just hit whatever. I mean, the mesh is melded to your your scan or whatever. And like you're good. Like it's not gonna if it pops again, it's just gonna pop again, but it won't be because you're like lifting too much weight. So just go ahead and do it. So I did that, signed up for a meet, and I think it was August, early August of 2022. I got to that meet, and then I did okay. I didn't hit any PR. No, I did. I think I hit a PR on bench. I'm pretty sure I hit a PR on bench. But other than that, oh no, I didn't even hit a PR on bench. I didn't hit any PRs that meet. But I still like had the highest dots of that year. Even like Nats was earlier in the year, like 2 months prior to that, and I was like, oh, okay, well, like at least I had like a good dots. Like
Yeah.
I mean, that was good. But before that meet, like a week out, I was like, I had missed so much, like in training. I had missed squats, I had missed deadlifts, I had missed benches, like, and that's the most I'd ever failed in training. Like, so at that point, I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like, I literally called Joe, I think, the week before a meet, and I was like, I'm not gonna lie, Joe, I want to quit. And he was like, dude, just make it to this meet. You'll do fine. We'll just see how it goes. And then I was like, all right, I'll do the meet. I'd already paid for it. I'd already peaked for it. I was like, might as well just do the meet. Then I made and I said, like I said, I did okay. And then going after that, I was like, because I know I got the highest dots, I was like, oh, Virginia Pro, like I can just build off of this, and I already have one of the highest dots, so like I can win this meet. Like going into it, I'm ranked number one. Um, all that prep was doing good. I kind of had one failure on squat, but I mean, it wasn't really like tripping over it. But then people kept telling me that my squats were high going into that meet, and I was like, nah, like it's fine. Like I kept telling myself, I was like, nah, it's good. So we're good. Get to the meet. I look at the flight before me, people bombing out because of depth. Start freaking out. Oh, also for that meet, I I cut weight too, which I never done before, like really. So we did a good cut, and so I had lost so much weight, and I weighed in at like 161, 162, so 73, 72. I think it was like 72.4, something like that. So I'd lost so much weight. Um, and I don't talk about this at all because I don't like making excuses. My squat last warm up, I started cramping up in my thigh, and I was like, like it'll be fine. I'll just drink some water. I'll be good. Missed my last squat on depth. I tried 300 again, but I got it, but missed it on depth. So I mean, that was then bench. I missed my second attempt. And then I was like, oh, well, we're done. We're not winning this meet at that point. Because when it comes to pro meets, like if you miss once, it's like, but you can still probably come back from it. You miss two, like you're not coming back from that. You're not winning at least. And then I get to deadlift first warm up, which wasn't three reds at that point. It was still two reds. Um, I cramp up like first rep, and I literally let go of the bar and I fall in the warm up room. And in between each warm up, I go to the physical therapist table, and they just massage gun me like in between each warm up, and then um, that happened. And after that meet, I looked at Joe and we had a meeting, and I was like, not gonna lie, dude, I want to quit. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do it because I thought I could be the best at it. I don't see myself being the best at it. And he was like, I was like, if you don't, I literally told him, if you don't make me fall in love with powerlifting again, I'm going to quit. Like, I'm just gonna be like I told him that face to face. It wasn't like a virtual call or anything. It was
Mm,
person to person. I was just like, if you don't make me fall in love with this again, I'm quitting. Like this is it. Because I mean, I don't feel like I can be the best, and that's it. And he was just like, all right, let's just try to fix things. I'm gonna need you to be on top of your stuff now. And then at that point is when like after that I started talking to my fiance. Like we went to the same college together, so we already knew each other at that point. But she was always a person in my life that was super positive, that I knew held me accountable and was like, you need to stop doing this dumb stuff. Um, and then we started actually like dating a little bit, and then we made it official later on, and yada yada yada. And then around that point is when I started being more faithful in myself, and she gave me the confidence that I needed. And then, like I said, probably like early 2023 is whenever it started flipping again, and then I was like,
mm,
all right, we're good. Like we can actually do good. And then we went to that meet, had that meet. It was easy. Hit the 825. Then I was on cloud nine. I was like, oh no, like I never beat the record, so I got to keep going. And then at that point, I just kept it going and going and
yeah.
going. So right now, I guess like I said, I'm still on that wave, but instead of like trying to chase a total, I'm chasing to beat that person that I haven't beat. So like Taylor's beaten me twice. I've never beaten him. I have a total higher than his total ever, but I still haven't beaten him. So that's like my primary motivation right now is like actually winning at least once. Like I just want to win once. He can beat me two more times after I beat him this once if he wants to, but I just want to win one because I haven't done that. So that's what's keeping me going right now. And like I can't let this because he says I've watched the stuff. He says he thinks he can go past 838. So it's like I have to actually try. It's not like I'm just gonna be like, oh well, like I'm not gonna be like everyone else and say he's washed. Like no, like this
Mm.
man, he says he has the ability. Um, he's never lied about what he think he can do. So I mean, like I'm gonna give it to him, and I'm gonna give him the benefit of doubt, and I'm gonna go in there and try to have the best meet I've ever had. So.
Very much see like the importance of PA Nats then for you, right? And why that is really first priority.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it just means more personally than like I don't know, like I just never beat him, and it's like dang. And then I told Joe like before Worlds, IPF Worlds, I was like he better not lose to anyone else. He better not. And then he freaking loses, and I'm like, I just feel like it looks so bad on my part, like I went against him twice, never won, but then these guys go against him one time, the first time, and then beat him, and I'm like, that just makes me look so bad. And like now,
Just
I'm like,
means just means if you beat him, then you're on top, right? You beat him by proxy.
yeah, like I don't know. I want to do it. Um, it's a goal that I have. I never shied away from my goals. Like I said, do I think it's going to be easy? Do I think 100% that I'm just going to do it? I mean, I never know. Like it's like an up in the air thing, but I'm gonna give my all and try my hardest to do it. So as long as you don't give up, I'm gonna keep everything dialed in. Like I said, I's dotted, T's crossed, and just keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, man. Just
You
got to be grateful as well. It's like when you hit that rock bottom spot, it's like at that point, it's like everyone around you that's pushing you forward. Because those man, like those times are they're the fucking hard ones. Where the point it's like where you
Yeah,
almost want to quit. It's like that's the hard stuff.
yeah. I was down bad, man. I was talking about retiring and everything. I was like let's just put it down. Like it's all good. And I was convinced too. Like it wasn't like I was, some of those people that just say they're gonna do it and then be like, like I don't know, I might not do it. Like I was definitely like I looked Joe in his eyes and I was like, nah, man. Like if you don't make me fall in love with this is it. Because I mean, I'm not gonna do something that I don't love to do, and then I'm not gonna do something where I had such high goals that I don't think I can achieve. And it's like I might as well put my time towards something else, like just do coaching full time, or like I have my degree in education, like just go down another goal that I wanted to have. So, but all in all, it worked out. So,
what was the just probably last note? You spoke before, just then about like all this confusion about not knowing if you can be the best, what was the moment that you realized that you could be the best?
Probably whenever I totaled day 25.
Yeah.
Like that was it. Like, um, I had dreams of being the best, but it wasn't like a realization, you know? Because I said a while ago, like I remember being in school and like looking up how to become a pro power lifter, or like I was like in class practicing my signatures because I was like I know one day like someone's gonna ask for this. Like like no, yeah, it was I knew that I just wanted to be the best. And did I know I could? I mean, I don't know. That's I guess like for my people who watch anime, that's why I love My Hero so much, because it's like he just wanted to be the best and he wanted to like help people. And, like that's why I'm a coach, because I want to help people, and that's why my degree is in education, because I want to like help people. But then like I still have this drive of like I want to be the best. Like I know like everyone has the ability some way to be the best at something, and I want to be the best at this thing that I picked that I know I can be this amount of good at. So
Awesome, man. It's so inspiring. It's so inspiring, especially hearing, I guess, from someone like yourself who's so successful and had this fucking huge year, that even someone like yourself can have that period where you're really questioning it. So, man, honestly, credit to you for getting through that. I know obviously you spoke a lot about having a fiance and her being a big rock for you. That's fucking cool as well. But I guess, man, yeah, congratulations on the year you've had. We're fucking really excited to see where that 851 goes. December, March, and then beyond.
beyond, yeah.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much for coming on. We'll wrap it up there and see you at training on the gram.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank
Easy,
you.
man.